Good morning. This is A Motivated Mind with Jen Cole. I am Jen and I'm so glad you're here. It is very cold this morning. It is actually snowing, as you can see. And today's topic is something that I think is very, very relevant. As always, I give you relevant, relatable information, honest answers to real life questions. You can see how cold it is because my nose is red. I am freezing. Waiting for the van to warm up to take the kids to school. But I really want to get on here and do this topic today because I feel like it is so important that we talk about this. There's not too many other things that I am this passionate about, and I didn't really know how to, do it, like how to get this message across, but it's something that I feel like it's really important. If you haven't already, please subscribe and ding the bell so that you don't miss a thing. Today's topic, we're going to talk about suicide prevention, and let's get into it. So I got the kids in the car, as you can see, and I know that that's not a very cheery, upbeat topic, but sometimes we need to talk about things we don't want to, if I said that the right way. The very thing that we need to talk about can be the very thing that we don't want to talk about. We need to talk about this because I am getting far too many messages from people saying how they feel that they just want to give up, that they want to quit, or that they have a loved one. As you know, that if you've been here before, then you know that I take my content for YouTube or the articles that I write, and even the articles in the upcoming magazine, the platform, you know that the content comes from messages that I get from you guys, or things that is going on in my personal life, or things that I know are relevant to those that are amazing enough to subscribe to me. You guys are amazing. Your support is what keeps me going on the days to where I want to quit, the days to where I want to give up, the days where I want to just throw in the towel. I know that you guys encourage me when you comment on these videos and you let me know that you needed to hear what I said, or that it was relevant to your life, and that is so amazing to me. The reason that this is so close to my heart is because, for two reasons. One, most of my adult life I have spent feeling depressed, aggravated, unworthy to even, be here on the planet. And I'm trying to talk about this topic without using certain words because the kids are in the van, and I really want it to be relevant to what you guys are going through. And because I've spent most of my life in such a depressed state of mind to where I just felt like there was no point and no value, no worth of even going on. I had messed up so bad at different points in my life that I just wanted to quit. And then I have so many people that are so close to me, and they deal with this kind of thing every day. I just spilled my coffee all over the world. People are dealing with this on a daily basis, and I feel that nobody's really saying what needs to be said about it. People are telling people that are wanting to do that, to end things, that they're selfish. People are telling people that they're selfish if they take the easy way out. People are telling people that, they need to get over it, and that is the exact wrong thing to say to somebody that's already feeling like they're so much of a burden to people, or that they've messed up so bad that they're just going to take themselves out of the game. And when you hear that, you're pretty much, it feeds into the feeling that you're just so much of a burden, and that you're such a bad person, you're always making the wrong decisions. And so that's another reason I wanted to talk about this, because I really want to get this stuff, the information out there, that if you're dealing with somebody that is feeling like this, telling them that they're selfish because they want to do that is the exact opposite of what you should be saying. It's the exact opposite of what they need to hear. They don't need to hear that they're selfish for thinking about that and that they're taking the easy way out. Because I promise you, coming to the conclusion to do that, as somebody that wanted to do that and that has tried multiple times throughout her life, I know that it is not an easy decision. It's not an easy point, an easy decision to make, that you've decided that you can't do this anymore, whatever this is. And most of the time you can't even put your finger on exactly why you feel this way. If you don't deal with your issues and your trauma and your problems, they will deal with you. And part of them dealing with you is this overwhelming sensation that you are such a complete and utter failure at everything that you do, that the world and everybody else would be better off without you. So I wanted to do this to talk to the people that do feel like that, to tell you that the light is just on the other side of this situation. And every single time that I wanted to do that and I didn't, things got better just after that. And I would have missed out on all these things going on. I would have missed out on all these amazing things if I had given up. So, like I said, for 2 reasons. I wanted to talk to the people that felt like this, that they wanted to give up. And I wanted to talk to those that have family members. Thank you. I wanted to talk to people that have family members, so you guys know what to say if you're dealing with this, because you don't always know what to say. This is hard. This is a hard topic to talk about. It's hard to deal with, and it's hard to understand, because a lot of times the people that call me and say, I feel like this, and they're struggling with this, you would never guess on the outside looking in. On the outside looking in, they're happy and successful people that have every reason in the world to live. They have everything to live for, so it seems on the outside. You know, I was really good friends with a kid in school that he was on the football team and the honor roll and really popular in school. And he was a really good friend of mine. And outside looking in, he had everything going for him. His parents owned a business. I don't want to say what type of business, because it would be easy for the other ones of you that I went to school with that do subscribe and watch these videos to know who I'm talking about, and I would never do that. And his parents owned a business, and they lived in a nice house, and he was popular, and he, you know, his grades were good. He had everything going for him, or so it seemed. But at night he would sit on his bed and write goodbye letters. And I was one of the only people that knew that, because he knew that he could trust me. I've always been like that. People have always just told me things and talked to me and opened up to me. And I had no idea that it was going to turn into something on such a grand scale. And it's really easy to put a mask on and not tell people exactly what's going on in your life. And you could be working beside someone, sitting beside someone, riding into work next to somebody, and have I got icing on my fingers from the donut, and have no idea what they're really going through. No idea what somebody is truly going through. That is why I always say, you know, be the kindness that somebody needs, because you don't know what they're facing. You don't know why someone's having a bad day. And while you'll also hear me say that somebody having a bad day does not give you a right to ruin somebody else's day and take your bad mood out on other people, but if you come in contact with somebody that just looks depressed and down and frustrated, you don't know what they're going home to or what they've just come from. You don't know if they've come from... I did a video a while back called Be the Kindness that you would need, or something. I can't remember exactly. It's something about being kind. It'll be at the end of this video. If I can find it on my list and put it in the end of this video. And then also there'll be a video that YouTube thinks is the best kind of video that I've made that you should watch. So those will be at the end of the video. Also, the subscribe option. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Every subscription helps. Every one of you that has shared my videos and subscribed to this channel and talks about my channel helps somebody else hear the message of hope. Each and every one of you that do this has helped one other person gain something positive for today just by sharing these videos and getting that message out of hope that we do recover, not just from substances, but from trauma and depression and eating disorders and domestic violence and PTSD. We are recovering from these things, and a big part of that is the suicidal aspect. And that is why this is such a big deal to me, because I feel like there's so many of us that have no idea what the other person is going through, that we put a mask on ourselves. So if you are one of the people that are putting that mask on day in and day out, and you have this incredible baggage that you're carrying around, and you just can't talk to anybody, you can't tell anybody how you feel, reach out to one person. I know sometimes we go through things and it's very dark. And in the magazine that I'm getting ready to put out, that I'm overseeing the launch of, called The Platform, each month there's going to be a section called the taboo topic, things that we need to be talking about, but that we're not. And one of the things that I'm going to be talking about is unsafe sex, and what happens physically after you have a baby, the recovery part of that, the depression aspect of just having a baby, and things that people need to know about. A new mom needs to know what physically happens to her after she has a baby. We don't talk about it because it's not pretty. It's not like a pamper commercial to where everything's all with a bow on it. But these are things that women need to know. They need to know that not everything just comes easily to everyone after you have a baby. That breastfeeding can be one of the hardest things. I mean, it's amazing. I love nursing my babies, but there were some days to where I wanted to give up and not do it because it was really, really difficult on some days. And I think that these are the things that we need to talk about. And the reason I'm talking about this topic today is because I received a couple messages and it all seemed to tie in. If you watched my other video where I talk about how I pick my topics, then you know that I'll either pick my topics because of something I'm going through, or somebody will directly ask me a question, or it will be because I will see or hear, or it'll be a common theme that I'm just seeing for a couple days in a row. And because of the messages I've received and a commercial that I've seen on TV, it just seems that this is the universe or God or somebody's trying to tell me to do a video about this topic, because it seems to be relevant to what's going on in a lot of people's lives. There are a lot of people out there hurting and a lot of people broken, and they're not telling anybody. And they're walking around with this baggage. And I don't just mean adults. I mean younger people too. People that you would think, what do you have to be worried about? Your job is to go to school and come home. But you don't know. You don't realize how much that can be for somebody. I have been depressed since I was a very little girl. And some things it would have been easy to see. I lived with my grandparents instead of my parents, and my mother was, she was a very bad alcoholic. And I never talk bad about someone that's resting in peace, but she was, I do talk about how it affected me and how it still affects me. Being the child of an addict or an alcoholic gives you baggage that you didn't earn. It gives you consequences to their actions that you did not earn and that you don't deserve to have. And so I always felt awkward and different because I lived with her mom and dad in Kentucky on a farm. And while it was an amazing farm and I loved it and I got to experience having chickens and growing our own food and everything like that, it was hard to be different. And everybody else had their mom and dad at the school, and I had my grandpa because my grandmother was sick. So on top of not living with my parents and living with my grandparents, my grandmother that was raising me had breast cancer, and she ended up having her breast removed, and they didn't catch it in time. And she was very, very sick for a long time. And I had to take care of her far beyond what was appropriate for my age at the time. A 6 and 7-year-old little girl or little boy should not be giving an adult an insulin shot. That should not happen. But it did. And so I think that the things that we've been through as a young person and the things that we go through sometimes, it can make us feel different and awkward. So we're always trying to fit in. We're always trying to find our place. Where do we belong? So I would hang out with, all these different categories in school and all these different types of kids because I always tried to fit in. I always tried to feel like I belonged somewhere, and I never felt like I'd fit in anywhere. And I was lucky for the close friends that I did have. A girl that I went to school with named Jamie, she, didn't care about the stuff with my mom. She didn't care about any of that stuff. When I did come to live with my dad, I had lived with my mom for a little while, and then I moved in with my dad, and Jamie didn't care about any of that. She didn't care about that stuff with my mom. She wanted to be my friend just to be my friend. And she would come and spend the night with me, and we went skiing and stuff together. And I don't want to mention her last name just in case that, she doesn't want me to do that. But, she didn't care about any of that stuff. She just wanted to be my friend for me. So something else that I want to talk about real quick. So I had to step away for a minute because I had to drop my boys off at school. Uh-oh, I was almost going to drive without a seatbelt. That's not a good idea. I did do a video one time and I forgot to put my seatbelt on just because I forgot. I was in the middle of shooting. And somebody sent me a message and they sent me statistics about accidents that happens when you're not wearing a seatbelt. So now I always try to make sure that I wear a seatbelt. And especially if I am shooting a video, I try to make sure I, wear a seatbelt and do all that stuff. And I try not to do anything that I would want anybody's kid to see, like smoking a cigarette or something. That is something else I wanted to talk about, is goal setting, which can be kind of tied into this because if you feel like you have nothing to work for and you have no goals to achieve and nothing that you're working toward, then you kind of feel like there's no purpose. So if you are feeling like that, start setting little goals for yourself. Give yourself a purpose. You have to be your own motivation sometimes. Sometimes you have to be your own inspiration because there are days and times to where it's going to be hard to get up and do what we need to do. A lot of you know that I have a planner business that I run called Pop. I started it. I picked Pop Planners on purpose because that's the initials of the company, and 2, because I live in Ohio and we call soda pop. So it was like a play on words. Pop, P-O-P, Planners on purpose. And I'm up by myself at night in my office cutting and gluing and pasting and finding just the right stickers and just the right images to put onto the pages. And when it's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm up alone all by myself, it is very hard to stay motivated. It is very hard to make myself stay up and keep myself on track. But because I have goals and things that I'm working toward now, I feel like I'm fulfilling a destiny, like I'm fulfilling something. And yours can look like whatever. If you work at a factory, then your destiny and your purpose could be to meet somebody there and help change their life. And I know that sounds crazy, but it really does happen like that. Some of the people that I've met in my life that have affected me, that I didn't even realize sometimes at the time, was just by chance or happening that I met them. Example, I think it was September. I know it was September. It was right before I went into treatment. I had went somewhere I wasn't supposed to be going. I was somewhere I said I wasn't, and I ran out of gas, and my car broke down, and it was right before an exit. Like I was trying to pull onto the exit to get gas, and I didn't make it. I ran out of gas, and the car wouldn't start. Hold on, I'll get it for you. Hold on, baby. And so I was trying to make it off the exit, and I didn't. My car ran out of gas right before. Right before I was getting off, and all these cars kept driving by, and I was like, oh my God, nobody's stopping. Nobody is stopping. Nobody's going to help me. And then a guy stopped and helped me, and not only did he go get gas and put gas in the car and charge my battery because it died for some reason and it just wouldn't charge. Not only did he stay there with me, go get gas for me, gave me gas money, put gas in the car, bought me a gas can, but he told me something that I will never forget, and I really hope I run into him again sometime. I said, if you write your information down, I will send this back to you. You know, I can't tell you how much this means to me. I will pay you back for everything. Thank you so much. And he said to me, we are all given opportunities in this life to help somebody or to hurt somebody. And if people took a more advantage of the opportunities that they have to help people just because they can, then people would, one by one, make this world a better place. And his whole demeanor and everything was just so sweet. And he wasn't doing it because he was hitting on me or anything. His wife ended up calling and he said, okay, honey, this is where I am. He was explaining, he kept saying, do you want to call somebody and tell them where you are so that people know you're safe? And of course I couldn't do that at the time because I wasn't in a good place. And he knew something was going on because he started telling me that, sometimes we get caught up in situations and we don't know how to get out of them and we don't know how to fix it. So he knew that I was not in a good place mentally, and he still helped me. And so my point to that is, when you see somebody that's hurting and you realize, if you ever get the opportunity, and it's really a blessing to see somebody without that mask on that we wear, to where we say I'm fine and everything's okay. But if you ever get the opportunity to see beneath the mask, then what can you do with that opportunity? How can you bless somebody? How can you make a difference in somebody's life in a positive way? Because we can make a difference in people's lives all the time, but it's not always positive. When you see beneath the mask of someone, what do you do in that moment? What can you do? If you are feeling hurt, lonely, depressed, upset, if you are feeling like you just want to give up, I promise you it gets better. But sometimes you have to make changes in order for things to get better. It's not just going to magically happen. You have to work at these changes. You have to do what it takes to make a difference in your own life. You have to be your own hero. You have to be your own motivation, your own inspiration. You have to be the person that's going to decide that today is the day that I'm done. That tomorrow's not going to look like yesterday. And I believe in you. I believe in each and every one of you. When my friends tell me that they're starting businesses, my friend Alex opened that insurance agency, and my friend Natalie is a realtor, and my friend, Donna, she sells jewelry. She's my jewelry lady, and people always ask me about my jewelry, and I get it from her. She's amazing. And when people do these things, I get so excited for them. Because one, I know the struggle of going into business for yourself. I know what it is to work from home. I know what it is to be a wife and a mom and just be a regular person, and then have this thing that you want to aspire to do, this dream, this goal that you're trying to do, and it's really hard. It's really, really hard. And you just have to put blinders on like the horses at the racetrack, so whether you're not seeing what everybody else is doing. Don't compare yourself to other people. Put blinders on and keep moving towards your goal. When my cousin opened his drywall and plaster business, there was a time to where, I'm sure there's struggles with everything that we do. But now it's growing and he's succeeding and he's doing the dang thing. And you have to believe in yourself, and we support one another. And the Facebook group that I have called A Motivational Mindset, it's for that. It's to motivate and inspire each other and be there for one another. So when we're down, we can share those struggles. And when we succeed at things and we accomplish those goals, it gives you a sense of purpose. I promise you, write small goals down and start working toward them. Start giving yourself something to work toward, and you will forget. Well, I shouldn't say it like that. I'm sorry. You won't forget about feeling like that, but you can maybe just put it on the shelf. I never tell people, don't do that, that's bad to think like that. Don't ever put more guilt on somebody that is already feeling like they want to take themselves out of the game. Don't ever do that. But tell them you want them to be here. The most influential people in my life wasn't the people that told me I was a failure when I was messing up. They didn't tell me I was doing bad when I was doing bad. They told me they believed in me and that I was better than the decisions I was making, and that they would be sad if I left. That's what touched me. Not the people that told me what I already knew. Not the people that was just saying out loud what I was already saying in here, because it's easy to feel bad about ourselves. And when we're out there when we're out there, caught up in madness and chaos and all that stuff, we already feel bad and, trash and dirty. We already feel those things. So when somebody says those things out loud, that doesn't hurt, because we already feel that way. If you want to affect somebody and bring change, tell them that they're worth more than what they're doing. Beneath that mask of who they're trying to be, and that beneath that mask of being untouchable, beneath that mask that I don't need anybody, there is somebody in there that needs you to tell them that they are loved, that they are worthy, that they are valuable. Beneath that mask, there's somebody there that needs to hear that they matter. So I am setting a goal for myself for March 1st. I am going to quit smoking cigarettes. March 1st is it. I have it written down. I'm going to do it. There's none of this tapering down for me, because if I find a reason to smoke 3, whatever it is, if I have a reason to smoke a half a pack, I'll find a reason to smoke half a pack in one. Like, it's just, that's how it is with me. It's all or nothing with certain things, and I can't taper down, because if I'm allowing myself to smoke at all, then I will continue to do it, and it's just easier for me to give in and say, okay, I'll have an extra one today, blah blah blah. But if I say no smoking at all and I'm going to do this, then that's what I'm doing. And I believe in myself, and I believe in you. So I'm going to have an accountability partner. I'm going to, it's just like anything else. I'm powerless over nicotine. It makes my life unmanageable. I'm always having to go outside, or, stand like where I'm hanging out the window, stand outside the van when we're all out shopping together to smoke. Like, it's just aggravating. I would get more work done because I'm always leaving my office. I never ever smoke in my office, even if I did smoke in the house. I never smoke in the office because that's where the planners are and it's papers, and it would absorb the smell of cigarettes. And whether you smoke or not, I'm not going to sell a product that smells like cigarettes, because not all of my clients do. My client that is an attorney, he is going to have his in his office and around other clients, and I don't want to be the reason that anything smells like cigarettes. That would be terrible. So I just wanted to add that. So that's something that's going on. I hope you guys have had a fantastic day. I have date night coming up soon this weekend, so I'm really excited about that. If you want to get published in this magazine, The Platform, your writing, your photography, your short stories, your music, whatever it is, if you want your business, product, or services advertised in there, please let me know. Cole Jennifer, the number's 506@gmail.com. Please email me, contact me, let me know. Comment in this below in this video if you have ever put on a mask, or you've ever been blessed enough and honored enough to see beneath the mask of someone else. So the topic of this video, the title, I guess, would be Beneath the Mask of Suicide, because I believe it's relevant and it's important that we get this out there, that we're not alone, that people need to hear what we're doing. And as always, I am Jen Cole, and I approve this message, and I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Until next time, bye-bye.